Karen and I'm here to review this, the Vita Liberata Body Blur. I have done another video reviewing the tan oil, but I bought this at the same time. Well, I say at the same time. I bought that, left the shop, and couldn't stop thinking about this and went back and bought it to review. It is the Instant HD Skin Finish 24-hour wear. It's basically like the Sally Hansen legs type product, or the, I think L'Oreal do one in a BB cream. It used to just be Sally Hansen that did it, but now everybody does it, I think. So it's an instant bronzing type product, but it also is like, it's like a body foundation, and this one has claims to blur things. I'll show you what it's like on my skin in the moment. Let me just tell you what the claims are and the price is, etc. So this is why I left the shop. It's £29.50, and I was like, okay, the Sally Hansen one is £15, and I really like that one. I think it's £15, something like that. And I really like that. I actually prefer the spray of the Sally Hansen one. I also did a review on, I think it was the L'Oreal BB one, and that one was, I think, a little bit less expensive. Again, I can't remember the exact prices, but £30 for something that's an instant bronzer, and it doesn't say that it's waterproof, because if it said waterproof, I might think, oh, okay, it's got something new about it. But it seemed to me to be the same product, but just because it's by this brand, it is more expensive, and so that's what put me off. But to be honest, I had points on my Boots card. I wouldn't have probably spent the cash on it, but I had points on my card, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get it and do a review of it and see if there is anything that is different about it. Because the only thing I don't like about the Sally Hansen one is that it's quite orangey. It doesn't look so orangey when you put it on, but it is quite orangey. So this says an instant skin finish that, did I tell you the price? £29.50, yeah. An instant skin finish that covers imperfections, smooth skin appearance, gives a natural looking tan that washes off and hydrates for an incredible HD ready finish. The unique properties: tinted BB properties, reflect light for a photo ready skin finish on body. Can also be used on the face, alone or under foundation as the ultimate makeup prep. A unique moisture locking system gives 72-hour hydration. Shea butter and aloe vera extracts condition the skin. I'm not sure what the unique properties are. It says tinted BB properties, reflect light, but the others are tinted BB creams, so I'm not sure what's unique about this. It's got some nice ingredients in it. The first ingredient is aloe vera, which I think is lovely. I think that's a really nice ingredient to use on the skin, very moisturising. It's got glycerin in it. There is nothing, there's a little bit of silicone, that's the fourth ingredient. There is no added fragrance, and there is no added alcohol. There's no alcohol and there's no fragrance, so that's really good. So the next thing for me is, well, what is the colour like, and does it cover as many imperfections as the Sally Hansen one? So that's the colour. So I have to say it is definitely less orange than the Sally Hansen one. If I'm going to keep mentioning Sally Hansen, let's bring it in. So this is the Sally Hansen. This one is in light. I'll be really embarrassed now if it doesn't look more orangey than this one. So what I was going to say is it's less orangey. So that's the Sally Hansen one, and that is the Body Blur one. But it's darker, it's a lot darker. But then again, you could buy this one in, this one is light. I think you can get medium dark, or medium and dark, I'm not sure. But the light one is not very light. But can you see how orangey that looks? And that one has got more of that brown tone. It's not an olive tone, but it's definitely more of a natural colour to me. So they both, I would say, cover the same amount. They've both got the same amount of cover. One doesn't have any shimmer in it at all. This one does, but you can't see it when you first apply it. It's really bizarre. I don't know whether you'll be able to see it even here. It looks like it's got a sheen, a beautiful sheen. See if you can see it there if I move it about. But when you've got it on your skin, and I've got it on my arms, can I see it? No, the jumper's actually rubbed it off. But when it sort of fades, you can see that there is little sparkles left on your skin. So I think that this would be my favourite one to use on the legs, because it's a more natural colour, and obviously you can sheer it out. You don't need to leave it that, you know, I put quite a lot of that on. Let's rub it in and see if you can see the sparkles. Let me rub the Sally Hansen one in. So you can see the Sally Hansen one doesn't look as orange when it's rubbed in, but I just feel like this one looks much more natural. It's still really hard to see the sparkles in it. It's very, very bizarre, because I didn't think it had any sparkles in it at all. And I've used it now 3 times on my arms, and yesterday I put it on my legs. Let me see if I've got any sparkle on my legs. Yes, you can see the sparkle on my legs. Now it's kind of worn off. So what happened was I put it on my arms, and then later on I was looking going, what have I got on me that's sparkly? You know, it doesn't look at all like there's any sparkle. Maybe I'll watch it back and be able to see it. See if I put it closer if you can see any sparkle. But there honestly is. It's like you've been sprinkled with pixie dust when you look at it, like I said, after a few hours. But I cannot see any there at all. But I think it seems to be when it wears off, it leaves behind a kind of sparkle, and it's really pretty. It's not an in-your-face sparkle at all. Like I said, it's just, I thought, oh, I must have done a swatch on my hand or on my arm or something. I've got some sort of, you know, fine sparkle on me somehow, but it's really pretty. And I can imagine on legs, that's where it would give that sort of, not necessarily a HD look, but where it would blur things. I think that's probably why it's called Blur, because it has got those particles in it to give that sort of shimmery effect and to take your eye away from any imperfections. But it's got the same amount of coverage as, that's the Sally Hansen one, and that is the Body Blur. It's got the same amount of coverage for sure. So I'm sad to say I really like this, and I say I'm sad to say just because of the price, because it's uber expensive, but it's just so much more of a natural colour than the L'Oreal one, than the, I think I tried a Rimmel one as well, didn't I? And then the Sally Hansen one, it just seems to be a much more believable colour. And that added tiny bit of shimmer is just beautiful, and this is really, really pretty. Now, I probably wouldn't repurchase this simply because of the price. Unless, like I did this time, I had loads of points on my Boots card, because £29 is super expensive, unless I don't use it very often, which actually that'll be the case, because although I've used this mostly on my arms, it's not a product I'd use on my arms. On my arms I will use the Rimmel Self Tan, the instant bronze that doesn't have like makeup in it. I prefer just a bronzer on my arms because I'm not trying to cover anything up. Whereas for the legs, I'm normally looking for more that sort of leg makeup idea. So I guess from that perspective, if it lasts me a year, I might well repurchase it and only use it on special occasions. I haven't tested out the wear of it like with sandals or shoes or anything like that, because I just don't tend to wear anything. I don't tend to go without anything on my legs. I tend to just wear trousers and jeans and then like my Converse or something like that. So I haven't tested whether it comes off on clothes or not. It says it's 24-hour wear, but I don't believe that it's water. It doesn't even say it's water resistant. But what I did notice was it faded very, very evenly. So much so that I wasn't sure if it was still on or not. Like I put it on, like I said, I've had it on my arms 3 times, and I was kind of looking at my arms the following day going, well, has it up? Oh, sorry about that hoovering in the hallway. Yeah, I was looking at my arms the following day, and I was looking at them thinking, well, is that stuff still there? It was before I had a shower, and I remember thinking, is it still there or is it not? And I couldn't really tell. And then when I got in the shower, even washing it off, you couldn't see where it was coming off from. I don't know whether I'll explain this right, but the 3 times I've worn it, like I put it on my arms last night, and I can't tell whether there's any left. But I think that that's a good thing, because it's not, with the other ones, you can very clearly see it. You can see like the line where I've washed my hands, and you can just see that it's, and it wears off kind of unevenly if you've got clothes, or you can see it on your clothes. I've had clothes, long sleeves on, every time I've worn this, and I have checked my clothes and there's none on my clothes. It just seems to have absorbed. It doesn't seem to have come off on my clothes. It didn't turn the water brown. You couldn't see it coming off in the bath, but I still could see that I had a bit of colour. So I feel like it does last really well. But like I said, how well it would stand up to say rain or wearing shoes that were rubbing against it, I don't know. But I do think it's beautiful. So if you really like these sort of leg makeup things and you would like a different coloured one, I would say to go for this one, and you don't mind spending that kind of money. Application, by the way, I would say it's best used with a mitt. I tried it first with my latex gloves, and it wasn't as easy to get even, but when using it with a glove, beautiful. You don't need as much. It smooths in very easily, really, really lovely. So I would recommend using a mitt if you're going to buy that. That's everything. Thank you very much for watching. I will list all of my makeup, etc. in the description below. Let me know if you've got any questions, of course, and I will speak to you again soon.